Hey, welcome back to another Just 5 Mins. I was going to do something clever because it's the 50th episode. Can you believe? Um, yeah, there's been a few pauses in between, but anyway, up to 50 episodes. And then I realized actually it might be a copyright thing anyway, because I was going to do something clever like, the REM song, It's the End of the World as We Know It, but just, you know, snip in the world, take that out and put in Stack Overflow. Um, it probably would have been really rubbish anyway, and it could have been a bit of a copyright issue. So there you go. Instead, I'm just going to link to their official video for the song. You must know it. Um, but yeah, it's the end of Stack Overflow as we know it. Or is it? Of course it isn't. And I did a very brief blog post about it about a week or so ago from this time of this recording anyway. But it is an interesting thing, and I didn't cover it in the blog post, so I'm going to cover it here. Is some of the other features that uh, the AI version of Stack Overflow AI is got, and it is quite interesting. It's an interesting pivot, and I think it was inevitable. I think they had to do something because if you look at their traffic stats, there's obviously some official ones kicking around. But the point being is that obviously since ChatGPT came along and everything else that followed it, or even was around at the time, actually, we should be aware of that, I suppose. But their traffic really, really, really dropped off, of course. But maybe that's not a good thing because what are you getting out of ChatGPT? It's for most things, it's probably doing everything correctly. But Stack Overflow had that human touch, of course. So it was sometimes harder to find examples, etc. But anyway, but either way, Stack Overflow AI, which is, I think it's still labs at the moment, so it's sort of a beta thing. You have to go and register interest. I'll put the links below. Um, but it does look quite interesting. They're obviously got they've got heaps of data. That's the main thing, isn't it? Over the years that Stack Overflow's been around, they've quite happily sort of got all of that data that they can mine, so they can point the GPT LLM sort of stuff at that for one. They can then sort of augment that with other bits that they've got community search, and they've got other elements that they can pull in, as well as they've got things which looks quite interesting, where it's got enterprise knowledge ingestion. Don't love that word. But the idea being you can sort of ingest your own knowledge base, which is quite interesting when you think about it, because you're getting a spread of results that's obviously got some specialized elements there from your knowledge base. So yeah, quite an interesting thing. But the other thing that I didn't realize at the time when I wrote the blog post was you've got Stack Overflow for Visual, well, the AI version of it for Visual Studio Code. So essentially, and they even say it in the video, it's basically the co-pilot for Stack Overflow. So you're right there. No need to even go to a browser to do the copy and paste anymore. Goodness me, where will it end? It won't end. That's the point, isn't it? But anyway, the idea is that actually in itself looks interesting, because I've got a subscription to GitHub Co-Pilot. I think it's about $10 a month because you need that to have the integration with Visual Studio Code or Visual Studio. So this is an interesting thing how they're going to do this, if they're going to end up charging for it. But right now it doesn't look like they are. So you've essentially got yet another co-pilot, essentially, or pair programmer. Who needs pairs? But it's really quite an interesting way where it's going. I'll put the links below, but I just wanted to address it because I'd missed out a couple of those interesting points that they do seem to have. And for once, this is pretty much a just 5 minutes. So until the next time, take care, and we'll catch you later. Bye-bye.